At my birthday dinner in LA, Mom screeched, "Put that damn cake down. You don't deserve a crumb." Put that damn cake down. You don't deserve a crumb. The room went stiff. My hand froze midair, still holding the cake knife. The room was dim, expensive restaurant lighting that made the fake smiles glow. Everyone stared. No one stood up for me. Mom's face flushed with Merlot and self-righteousness, teeth clenched behind her lipsticked sneer. "You really think you're entitled to celebrate?" she hissed. "When your sister is still trying to recover from everything you put her through." "Recover?" I asked, calm, deadpan. "From a soul-searching trip you funded with my money." "Lower your voice," Megan muttered, adjusting the Cartier bracelet I technically paid for. My aunt pretended not to hear. Dad stirred his drink like it might make him disappear. And on the plate in front of me, a single slice of red velvet, the only thing I'd looked forward to tonight. I didn't touch it. "I'm Nate. I'm 26. I don't belong here." "I'm Prestes, Nathaniel James Foster. 26. Graduated early, honors in architecture, licensed at 24, working my ass off for a life no one here respects. I was always the old soul. Too serious, too quiet, too responsible. That made me invisibles in this house of drama queens and unearned pity. And yet, I still showed up to this dinner. For some stupid reason, I thought maybe this birthday, this one, I might be treated like a son. But they don't see a son. They see a fix wallet. A scapegoat. The one who didn't cry loud enough to matter. Until tonight. Who's at the table? Fierce. Mom, Darla, 64. Retired HR executive. Passive-aggressive queen of rewriting history. Believes martyrdom is a love language. Once told me I owe Megan for being the healthy one. Dad, Gary, 67. Quiet, retired public school principal. Looks like he might say something, but never does, especially not when Mom speaks first. Megan, 28. My sister, former art major turned crystal healer turned podcast co-host. Always a crisis, always a reason. Got $28,000 of my savings when Mom transferred it for a family emergency. Aunt Cece, Mom's sister, 58. Unemployed, overdressed, always in the corner with wine and gossip. Says I take things too personally. "Let's not bring up money," Megan says. "That's not what tonight's about." "You're right." I nod. "It's about how Mom emptied my joint savings account, without asking, because you needed a break." Mom rolled her eyes. "You didn't need all of it. You're single, no kids, and it's not like you were buying a house this month." "I was closing escrow the day you transferred it." Silence. Dad stirred his scotch. "It was for family," Mom said again, as if saying it enough made it noble. "You should want to help your sister. With $28,000, without a call, and you mailed me a plastic fork." Aunt Cece giggled. "That was a joke." "You took my future and made it a fucking joke." And still, no one said sorry. They just stared like, I ruined dinner. I stood, not angrily, just done. "You all came here thinking I'd stay quiet, that I'd smile while you chewed through my life savings like it was part of the breadbasket." Mom started to speak. I raised my hand. "Don't. I let you steamroll me too long. I let you shame me for being the responsible one, the dependable one. Like that's a flaw. You called Megan's 6-week Paris trip a healing journey. You know what I was doing? Sleeping in my car after the bank froze my mortgage application. You didn't even ask why." Megan's mouth fell open. Maybe she didn't know. Maybe she didn't care. "I sold my drafting tablet to make rent," I continued, shaking. "And all of you were posting photos of wine tastings in the Marais, like I wasn't bleeding back home." Dad's eyes darted. Cece refilled her glass. Hope you enjoy every dollar you bled me for, I said. You champagne-drunk parasites in knockoff Gucci. And I sat down. It wasn't the money, not really. It was the pattern. Like when I was 17 and got accepted to NYU with partial scholarship. We couldn't afford the rest, Mom said, not while Megan was an outpatient. I nodded. Didn't even cry. I took community college. Said I'd transfer later. I never did. I stayed home. Worked 2 jobs. Helped with groceries while Megan relearned how to cope. Every win I had, from the firm internship to my first condo, I built quietly. And every time I needed just a little help, crickets. They remembered me when there were bills, when Megan totaled her car and blamed the brakes, when Aunt Cece needed bail. But no one remembered my birthday until today, with a plastic fork. I wasn't supposed to know about the Paris trip. The money Mom transferred came from an account we opened when I was 16. My dad co-signed it for emergencies. But guess what? I requested the statements last month. Mom forged my digital signature, falsified my withdrawal consent. She committed bank fraud. It's all traceable. I've been meeting with a financial advisor for weeks. My firm's legal department reviewed it. Tonight wasn't just a birthday. It was a setup, a test. And now, I passed. By the way, I added, pulling a folder from my jacket. You'll all be hearing from my attorney Monday. Mom's wine glass slipped. Nathaniel. Don't. You can lie to me. You can manipulate Dad. But you can't lie to the IRS. You wouldn't do that to your own family, she whispered. You already did. Dad finally spoke, softly, hoarsely. Is this true? Mom didn't answer. Her face twisted in panic. Darla, he said again, tell me you didn't forge our son's signature. I didn't think. Exactly, I snapped. You didn't think. You assumed I'd stay the silent one. Megan stood. This has nothing to do with me. It has everything to do with you, I said. You drained me dry and called it healing, and not once did you ask if I was okay. She burst into tears. Cece grabbed her purse. I'm not getting dragged into legal stuff. You are legal stuff, I said. You've been cashing checks from Megan's therapy fund for 5 years. That money came from Grandpa's estate. He left it to me. I have the will. Dead silence. Then a crack. Mom's wine glass hit the floor. I was going to tell you, she whispered. I'm sure you were, right after dessert. I left my slice of cake on the table. No one followed me at first. I expected that. It was always easier to ignore me. But as I stepped out onto the curb, Dad jogged out after me. Son. His voice cracked. I'd never heard it like that. I didn't know. You didn't ask, I said quietly. You watched them drain me and still sat at the table. He nodded, eyes glossy. I'm sorry. I was weak. Then fix it. Not for me. For yourself. He placed something in my hand. An old house key. I never changed the locks on Grandpa's cabin. I nodded. Start over, Nathaniel. He said. The cabin smelled like cedar and old books. I hadn't been here since Grandpa passed. The place he and I built a birdhouse on the porch. The place I felt seen. It took me 2 weeks to move in. 1 month later, a letter came. From Megan. She didn't ask for forgiveness. She didn't explain Paris. Just this. I saw you for the first time that night. I didn't know how much you were carrying. I want to learn. Not because I deserve it, but because you do. That was all. And it was enough. I'm designing again. Sketching again. Slowly. On my terms. Sometimes peace doesn't come from revenge. It comes from being the only one who finally told the truth. And then walked away with your head high. If this story hit you in the gut, you're not alone. Ever felt like the quiet one who held the family together while they tore you apart? You're not bitter. You're tired. You deserved better. If you were in Nate's shoes, what would you do? Would you forgive? Would you fight? Tell me in the comments, because your voice deserves to be heard too. Like, share, and subscribe for more stories that speak the truth behind closed doors. You don't owe them silence. You owe yourself peace.